This is News Hour on Ifako Radio. Good morning, I'm Olanireti Ololade. The major headlines: 2027 presidency. Mark cautions Atiku, Obi as FG slams coalition chiefs. 2025 admissions. JAMB sets 150 benchmark. Bars under 16. Customs, EFCC. Step up airport surveillance against money laundering. ASU branches resume lecture after June salary payments. Natasha delays Senate return, cites legal advice. US restricts Nigerians, others to single entry 3-month visas. Olubadan, Ibadan begins 21-day mourning for Olakuleyin. Sports. Musa denies gifting cars to Pillars players officials. Entertainment. Tubaba unveils new management team to reinvent brand. News in detail. 2027 presidency. Mark cautions Atiku, Obi as FG slams coalition chiefs. Interim National Chairman of the African Democratic Congress, Senator David Mark, in a statement on Tuesday, said the new coalition had no favorite presidential candidate. Amidst reports that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi, former Minister of Transport Rotimi Amechi, amongst others, were front-runners for the party's ticket for the 2027 election. In the statement released by his media team on Tuesday in Abuja, Mark emphasized that all party members were equal stakeholders. ADC's 2023 presidential candidate Dumebi Kachiku had accused the Mark-led interim leadership of the party of being biased in favor of Atiku, with growing concerns that the ambitions of the three contenders could divide the party. In response, Mark assured Nigerians that the party would maintain complete transparency under his leadership. 2025 admissions. JAMB sets 150 benchmark bars under 16. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board and the tertiary education stakeholders have approved the National Minimum Tolerable Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination Score, also known as the cutoff point for 2025 admission into the nation's universities. Also, the federal government reiterated its stand on the 16 years as a minimum for admission into tertiary institutions. At this year's annual policy meeting on admissions into tertiary institutions held in Abuja on Tuesday, the meeting adopted 150 as the benchmark for admissions into universities and 100 for polytechnics and college of education. The meeting adopted 140 for colleges of nursing across the country. This means that no tertiary institution should admit students who score below the approved benchmarks, while institutions can still fix higher cutoff marks for their applicants. Last year, 140 was adopted for universities and 100 for polytechnics and colleges of education. The decision was adopted after the heads of the institution voted. Customs, EFCC, step up airport surveillance against money laundering. The Nigeria Customs Service, Muritala Mohammed International Airport Command, has engaged stakeholders including the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and the National Financial Intelligence Unit and passengers, among others, to tackle money laundering and terrorism financing. The event held at the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria Conference Room at the MMIA wing on Tuesday was themed Anti-Money Laundering, Counter-Financing Terrorism Procedures. Speaking during the program, the Customs Area Controller, in charge of the command, Effiong Harrison, said the forum is apt, especially as it concerns inward and outward declaration of foreign currencies, negotiable instruments, precious stones or metals at the designated desks of NCC's anti-money laundering unit. He said since the last sensitization earlier this year, the command has made remarkable progress on multiple fronts through interventions and engagements with relevant stakeholders and other government agencies, as well as the traveling public. According to him, this has resulted in the interceptions of non-declaration, false declaration, and under-declaration of currencies for the suspects, which were handed over to the EFCC for further necessary actions. As we enter the second half of the year, it is imperative to refresh ourselves and raise the standard in ensuring that Nigeria is elevated back to acceptable international status via robust national security at the premier air border, he stated. ASU branches resume lecture after June salary payments. The federal government on Tuesday released the June 2025 salaries of lecturers and other tertiary institution-based workers. Following the release of salaries, branches of the Academic Staff Union of Universities wrote to their members to resume work. Recall that chapters of the union across certain federal universities had declared a no-pay, no-work policy, following what they described as consistent delay in payment of monthly salaries over 5 months. Enugu Air to connect Nigeria to the world. Enugu State Governor Peter Umba has declared that Enugu Air, the newly launched state-owned airline, will serve as a strategic hub to connect countries beyond its base in the state capital. The governor made this ambitious announcement during the inauguration of the airline's maiden flights at the Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, on Monday. Speaking at the ceremony, Umba emphasized that Enugu Air is not just a domestic airline, but part of a broader vision to position Enugu as a central aviation gateway to the southeast and a bridge between Nigeria and the rest of the world. Natasha delays Senate return, cites legal advice. The senator representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has clarified her decision to delay her official return to the Senate, despite a court ruling that voided her recent suspension from legislative duties. In an interview, with the African Independent Television on Tuesday, the lawmaker explained that her decision was guided by legal counsel and a deep respect for institutional procedures. She stated that she would await the certified true copy of the court judgment before making any definitive move regarding her return to plenary sessions. While the court described the suspension as excessive and unconstitutional, a counter opinion dated July 5, reportedly authorized by Senate legal counsel Paul Daudu, claimed that the ruling lacked any enforceable directive compelling the Senate to reinstate her. Acknowledging the legal back and forth, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan said, "I believe in the judiciary. I'm not giving up." US restricts Nigerians, others, to single-entry 3-month visas. Beginning from today, Nigerian successful applicants for United States non-immigrant visitation will be granted a maximum 3-month single-entry visa. The U.S. Embassy in Abuja announced the State Department decision yesterday. It explained that many other countries are also affected by the action. Olubadan, Ibadan begins 21-day mourning for Olakuleyin. A 21-day mourning has been declared in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, to honor the 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Owolabi Olakuleyin, who passed on in the early hours of Monday after a prolonged illness at a private hospital in the city. The mourning, which started yesterday, is in line with the age-old tradition of the ancient city. Following the conclusion of the mourning, members of the Olubadan in council are expected to begin the traditional process of selecting and installing a new Olubadan. Sports. Musa denies gifting cars to Pillars players, officials. Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa has denied widespread social media claims that he distributed luxury vehicles to players and officials of Kano Pillars following his appointment as the club's general manager. In a statement posted on his official X handle on Tuesday, the Super Eagles captain dismissed the viral reports, describing them as false and misleading. The rumor, which had circulated earlier in the day, alleged that Musa gifted brand new Land Cruisers to all members of the team and coaching staff as a gesture to mark his return to pillars in an executive capacity. Reacting to the developments, Musa said the story was completely fabricated and urged the public and media to be more discerning about the information they share online. Entertainment. Baba unveils new management team to reinvent brand. Music superstar Baba has announced a new chapter in his career with the unveiling of his new management team, Guy Entertainment. This team, comprising seasoned professionals in music, branding, digital innovation, and entertainment law, will oversee his career locally and internationally. With over 20 years of experience in the music industry, Baba has redefined Afropop and inspired many artists. Recap of the major headlines. 2027 presidency. Mark cautions Atiku, Obi as FG slams coalition chiefs. 2025 admissions. JAMB sets 150 benchmark, bars under 16. Customs. EFCC step up airport surveillance against money laundering. ASU branches resume lecture after June salary payments. Natasha delays Senate return, cites legal advice. US restricts Nigerians, others, to single entry 3-month visas. Olubadan. Ibadan begins 21-day mourning for Olakuleyin. Sports. Musa denies gifting cars to Pillars players, officials. Entertainment. Baba unveils new management team to reinvent brand. Follow us on all our social media handles. Facebook at Ifako Radio, X at Ifako Radio, YouTube at Ifako Radio, WhatsApp at Ifako Radio, Instagram at Ifako_radio. For news reporting, contact us at ifakoradio@gmail.com or call or WhatsApp 091 22 22 7433. Special thanks to the news producer Olanireti. Thanks for watching. I'm Olanireti Ololade. Have a wonderful Wednesday. God bless Ifako.